The ultimate solution to put an end to the Me Too movement is by stopping sexual harassment of women at workplace by imbibing sense of morality and equality while raising sons. This was the unanimous opinion of the panel of eminent journalists who discussed the fallout of the Me Too movement from a male perspective. The Me Too movement was discussed at the 9th edition of Goa Art and Literary Festival on the last day with eminent journalist, London-based Indian journalist Salil Tripathi, editor of Scroll.com Naresh Fernandes, and sports columnist of Mumbai Mirror Supriya Nair. Editor of Indiaspen.com Samar Halankar moderated. Watch the key issues they discussed.
Why have these women decided to name names and shame people? Because the so-called due process simply hasn't worked. The Vishaka guideline, many companies don't have them. Many organizations don't have, NGOs do not have them, but NGOs, I'm sure there are stories waiting to be told. More important, corporate India. I think that's the next shoe that has to fall.
Due process also takes very long, can be very painful. And so if the complainant in the Tarun Tejpal case had named and shamed, that case is still going on. And so how do you reconcile all of this is among the things people are talking about. And yes, institutions are failing, but sort of due process takes time.
You just have to formalize workplace relations, and if that takes the fun out of the workplace, too bad. But that seems to me to be the only way in which you have a certain presumption of equality, in which men and women and people of all genders can operate, can operate on the basis of some equality.
Now, I don't know if you saw the story, but Bloomberg had a story last night, this morning, about Wall Street and how it's changing its rules of relationships between men and women who are colleagues. One of the things is that you cannot go out with a woman for dinner. You cannot have a meeting with a woman after 7. These are the rules being told to men. You cannot, if you have a meeting, it should be only with, with glass cabin and that kind of stuff.
You're talking about essentially lathi charging a mob, which is out of control, and you're trying to set parameters for them, telling them what to do, what not to do. I would argue that nothing for the future is going to change unless you actually start acting now about how you're raising your sons. And that is the biggest problem in India. Because the problem is how sons are raised, and the fact that, and it begins to be with the simple fact of ensuring that they are taught equality from the start. And that begins in great part by putting them in the kitchen. Because that is the one domain, that men in India still believe is not for them at all. And that teaches you great equality, I think. Because then once you know that making chapatis or whatever is your job as well, then you grow up not acknowledging that you are not inherently superior to the women in your life.